Hi everyone, let's talk about Young Nudy. The cousin to 21 Savage debuted in 2019 with help from Pierre Bourne, a very much high, in-demand producer, back in, again, 2019 with his album Sly Mare, an album that I did not cover on this channel despite me reviewing the same year. Mainly because I just didn't find the album interesting. I felt like Pierre Bourne was upstaging Young Nudy in most every way, shape, or form except the rapping. And I feel like Pierre Bourne was trying to make another Die Lit, and it turned out messy. However, I saw character on that album from Young Nudy himself. And while maybe Pierre Bourne is on his way being very similar to like a Metro Boomin, who was booming in like 2016, 2017 and kind of died down now. He's still making music, but not as much as maybe what a Pierre Bourne is. Young Nudy, however, is just getting started, and this is his quick follow-up to his last album. An album I was not originally going to cover, however, there have been some people that say, hey, this album is really good. Quality, no bullshit, good album. I checked this thing out because I was curious, and come to find out, I really do enjoy this. And I am going to start this review off with one of the lines from the song Blue Cheese Salad. I told you I only make stoner music, gangster music, killer music, fuck your hoe music, take your hoe music. Now, I would not classify myself as a stoner, a gangster, or a killer, but I think there is something to enjoy even if you aren't in those camps. For one, the lyricism on this album is really good. Like, for a trap album, this thing is well written. I could name every song on this album for having its own style and its own character, kind of telling its own story in a way. And at 16 tracks, yes, almost every song on this album does have something to tell. The production on this album is also something to admire as well, because it's something that complements Young Nudy in such a good way. It's an instrumental that you would only hear Young Nudy rap over, and if you hear another person rapping over an instrumental like what's on this album, you would definitely tell that there is some Young Nudy influence. These instrumentals are weird, quirky, just a lot of these weird phased synthesizer bleeps. It's kind of hard to describe them because I don't know, they're not really all that common, but the way Young Nudy raps over most of these instrumentals is almost like applying butter to toast. And this is one thing I don't say about a lot of trap albums, but Young Nudy comes off with a lot of character, and it is so goddamn hard to come through with character on a trap album nowadays. Because everyone wants to be another Future, everyone wants to be another Young Thug. No one wants to make a lane for themselves, and that's exactly what Young Nudy is doing. I think his flows on a lot of the songs have improved greatly since Sly Mare, and I think the production really matches him in such a great way. I cannot stress this point enough. The production and Young Nudy mix like emulsified oil and water, or maybe, you know, water and ice. I don't know. They mix so well. That's all I'm trying to say. However, the one criticism I have with this album, and it is kind of a sizable criticism for this album, it's 16 tracks long. It's just 2 minutes shy of being an hour long. So, initial listens, I thought, this is a great album. This is an amazing album, but the more I listened to this, the more I realized that this album can, at some points, drag on. It being an hour-long excursion into southern hip-hop and southern trap sounds, this can get a little tedious, especially towards the latter half of this album. That is the only thing holding this project back from being amazing and me loving it so much. The length is something that can be changed, especially for future projects to come. I can totally see this album being a great album if it had like a few less songs on it. Maybe if this was an 11 or 12 track album, I definitely could see it working in its benefit. For what we have, this is some pretty consistent, very quality and sort of top-notch trap that very much stands out amongst the rest of the trap albums that I'm hearing nowadays. And there's a lot of them, trust me. And I don't like to be recommending the same people over and over and over and over again to people that want to hear, oh, I don't like rap because it all sucks, right? There's like 5 good artists that are rappers that I know about, and albums from a multitude of rap artists that are great, but their discography is just not consistent. And I hope that is not the case with Young Nudy. I hope that he takes what he has on this album and embellishes on it, because the writing is quality, the production matches him so well, and there's just so much character on these songs. And something that's kind of being understated is he can rap about a lot of different things. On one song, he's rapping about crime, drugs, but on another song, he's being quite introspective. There's just a lot to like and appreciate about this album. I, again, did not care for the length of this project. I definitely think it could have been trimmed down a little bit. But for what we have, a very quality, a very interesting, and a very recommendable, in a weird way, trap album. I say in a weird way because this album might be a little bit difficult to get into. It did take me a few listens to kind of get in touch with it. But for what we have, this album is definitely something that I think you should check out if you are curious about anything I said in this review. I hope you do check this out. Please check this out. But yeah, other than that, I like this album. This album's good. Slap it with a B+, and that's about it. But I am curious to know, what are your thoughts and opinions on this album down below. Let me know what albums you want me to review next. That is it. Leave a like, comment, share, do whatever you want. Let me know how I can improve future videos down below. Remember, this is only my opinion, because music is subjective.